with all due respect to the Vice President, we are confident that we will secure a conviction. Why? We have evidence. We have strong evidence. Nevertheless, ito pong impeachment trial na ito, this is a perfect opportunity for the Vice President to present her defense. If indeed merong mga Piatos sa Davao, we will be welcoming the people with the last name Piatos, and in particular, Mary Grace Piatos. Contrary to the other opinion, naniniwala kami na even during recess, nothing prohibits the Senate from convening as an impeachment court. Kaya lang, Ma'am Ami, we have to consider, no? The rightful authority is the Senate kasi sila yung court. At the end of the day, the prosecution team is ready.
From newsroom to screen, the Philippine Star continues to deliver stories that matter. Welcome to Truth on the Line, the Philippine Star's pioneer news and current affairs show. I am Ami Pamintuan, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star. Joining us here today is Batangas Representative Jervil Jinky Beatrix Luistro. She is one of the 11 prosecutors in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte. Hello, Congresswoman Luistro. Welcome to Truth on the Line.
Hello, Ma'am Ami, and thank you for having me in your program, Truth on the Line.
Opo, naka-adjourn po ngayon ng Congress. Mukhang mahaba-haba yung interregnum, between now and yung balak na pagbubukas ng impeachment trial. Ano po yung ginagawa nyo ngayon? You're part of the prosecution panel. Ano po yung ginagawa ninyo ngayon? I'm sure tuloy-tuloy yung paghahanda ninyo.
With respect po dun sa ating napaatas na tungkulin, we're having a regular meeting already in preparation po for the prosecution, no? Yun pong initial meeting natin, nagkaroon ng discussion about the 7 articles of impeachment, the possible evidence that we can use, and documents which need to be solicited pa, no? We have manifested also kung sang article namin gusto mapa-assign. Siyempre po, for our part, na naging bahagi ng investigasyon sa Blue Ribbon Committee, I manifested that my interest is with respect to the 2nd article of impeachment, and that is the misuse of confidential fund. So, Ma'am Ami, if the question is what are we doing right now? We are preparing for the prosecution in preparation for the impeachment trial.
Can you give me an idea kung ano pa po yung mga hinihingi nyong evidence? You say you want, I guess it's documentary evidence, Can you give us an idea kung ano kaya yung mga yon?
One of my recollections during the Blue Ribbon Committee, nag-request po ako ng complete rundown of the total number of beneficiaries or recipients of confidential fund. Kasi medyo nga po tayo ay na-disturb at naglabasan itong mga pangalang Mary Grace Piatos and Cocoy Villamin na hindi po ma-explain ng mga STOs. So I remember, I moved na magkaroon ng complete rundown yung total number of recipients ng confidential fund. At least ibang gapos dun sa database ng PSA kung aling mga pangalan yung existing at aling pangalan yung fictitious, no? Yung mga pangalan na hindi nag-appear from the records of PSA. That is one among those documents na gusto sana naming maipresenta during the impeachment trial.
Manghihingi din po ba kayo ng record? Kasi sabi nila, dun daw sa Davao City, meron daw talagang pamilyang Piatos, Meron ba kayong effort to verify?
We will be welcoming if they will be able to present itong mga taga Davao na Piatos. Pero maalala mo, Ma'am Ami, ito na yung question ko kay Gina Acosta. Tinatanong ko kung sino si Mary Grace Piatos hanggang medyo sumama na yung pakiramdam niya. And then I asked her kung bakit siya sumama ang pakiramdam, napakamalumanay ko namang magtanong. Her answer was, hindi daw talaga niya alam kung sino si Mary Grace Piatos, no? Nevertheless, ito pong impeachment trial na ito, this is a perfect opportunity for the Vice President to present her defense. So, if indeed merong mga Piatos sa Davao, we will be welcoming the people with the last name Piatos, no? Ipasabina natin sa PINA testificandum. At kung may mga dokumento which will substantiate the identity of these people, magpasapina din tayo sa PINA duces tecum naman para papatunayan natin na ito nga yung mga Piatoses doon. And in particular, Mary Grace Piatos.
Of course, Congresswoman, ang controversy ngayon kung bakit mabagal daw ang galaw ng Senate dito sa impeachment complaint. And in the meantime, ang sabi ni Senate President Chis Escudero, kailangan pa daw mag-draft ng new rules Is the Senate coordinating with the impeachment prosecutors o kailangan ba nilang mag-coordinate with you sa paggagawa ng mga yan?
I don't have any information whether they are coordinating with us. Pero in as far as I am concerned, wala naman akong nare-receive na coordination from the Senate counterpart, no? However, it is true na kailangan mag-draft ng rules for impeachment, no? Kailangan ito ma-approvean, dapat manumpa lahat ng impeachment court judges. Kaya lang medyo ang amin kasing appreciation dito ay kailangan agad mag-convene because this is a constitutional duty that we need to address right away, no? And as a matter of fact, contrary to the other opinion, naniniwala kami na even during recess, nothing prohibits the Senate from convening as an impeachment court because impeachment is sui generis. This is a thing of its kind. This is different from legislative work. Kung yung legislative dapat nakasession ang Congress, itong impeachment court, it does not necessarily need na on session ang Congress, no? So, technically speaking, wala namang nagpro-prohibit or nagbabawal why the Senate should convene right away, no? Kung saan, pwede na silang mag-approve sana ng rules for impeachment, mag-convene as an impeachment court, at magpa-oath sa mga senador, the 23 senators, who will be sitting as the impeachment court judges. Kaya lang, Ma'am Ami, we have to consider, no? The rightful authority is the Senate kasi sila yung court. Kami, prosecutor lang. So, ultimately, kahit ang appreciation namin dapat mag-convene agad, we respectfully submit to the wisdom and the authority of the impeachment court. And that is the 23 senators of the Philippines.
Iba-iba nga daw po kasi yung opinion niyan. Merong nagsasabi, si former Justice Carpio, sabi niya, kung pwedeng compromise, magtawag ng special session si President Marcos for a legislative process. Tapos, isasabay na lang daw yung special, dahil magkaka-special session na for legislation, pwede nang mag-hold ng impeachment trial, nakasabay nun. Do you think that's feasible?
Of course, we welcome the pronouncement of the President, no? Na kung may request ang Senate, pwede siyang magpatawag ng special session. We welcome also the pronouncement of SP Chis Escudero na kung may request ang President, they will be acting on the request for special session. But from the prosecution team, Ma'am Ami, we really do not think na kailangan ng special session because this is an impeachment trial. It does not need a special session to be able to come up with an impeachment court, no? Sui generis ito. At ang sabi sa Constitution, shall forthwith convene, which means right away, kailangang mag-convene, no? Sa aming pananaw, Ma'am Ami, even without the special session, they can convene anytime as an impeachment court, even during recess, because that is the meaning of forthwith in the wording of the Constitution. Nevertheless, Ma'am Ami, uulitin ko ha, we respectfully submit to the wisdom and the discretion and the authority of our impeachment court. And of course, that is the 23 Philippine senators.
Ang sinasabi po kasi ni SP Escudero, para daw minamadali yata sila. Ano po yung minamadali sila at inupuan daw ng House of Representatives yung impeachment.
Mahigit 2 buwang inupuan, pinag-aralan, binasa, tiningnan ng Kamara yung mga impeachment complaint na nakabinbin. Mahigit 2 buwan, hindi finorward ng Secretary General ang impeachment complaint sa tanggapan ng Speaker para i-refer sa plenary at sa Committee on Justice. Magkatabi lamang naman ang kwarto tulad sa Senado ng Secretary General at ng Speaker, ang Secretary ng Senate at ng Senate President. Bakit naman kami bigla sasabihang gumalaw umakto agad sa loob lamang ng ilang oras? Kung nagpa-banjing-banjing sila gawin ito, siguro wala naman silang basihan ngayon na madaliin kami lalo na nasa huling araw na ng sesyon. Yan pinadala sa amin halos mag-aalas 5 pa ng hapon.
3 impeachment complaints in 2 months, tapos bigla-bigla daw pinadala sa kanila at the 11th hour. Tapos ngayon daw mabadaliin sila. Ano po yung masasabi niyo ron?
With all due respect, Ma'am Ami, to our Senate President, no, but I beg to disagree. Hindi po natin ito inupuan. As a matter of fact, since the time the 3 impeachment complaints were filed, nagkaroon po ng individual evaluation ang ating mga congressmen. Nagkaroon ng sari-sariling pag-aaral. Until recently, ay nagkaroon ng party-initiated na meeting kung saan nabuo yung common decision or collegial stand to come up with a 4th impeachment complaint, which was supported by 215 members of the House. Let us always remember, no, na ang lower house po, just like the upper house, is a collegial body. I cannot decide alone. Some Kongs cannot decide on their own. We need to come up with a decision of majority. For the purpose of impeachment, the requirement of the law is 1/3. Bagaman it took time, no? It is because kailangan po naming mag-arrive sa isang common decision. And in this particular case, the impeachment complaint was transmitted by a supermajority, 215 plus additional of 25. Kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, then that would be a total of 240 members of the House supporting the impeachment complaint. It is our understanding na ito pong 4th impeachment complaint is a consolidation of the first 3 impeachment complaints. The difference is this, yun pong tatlo, endorsed by private individuals, no? Endorsed by few or 1 member of the House only, si Representative Sandanya. In that case, ang rota po na susundin niya, it has to be referred first to the Justice Committee kung saan magkakaroon ng preliminary hearing at ang Justice Committee po ay binibigyan ng 60 days to resolve whether approve or disapprove ang impeachment complaint. Hindi po kakayanin considering the limited time, the limited session that is remaining. And these are the considerations, Ma'am Ami, kung bakit we decided, the 240 members of the House decided that we come up with the 4th impeachment complaint na endorsed by more than 1/3 of the members in compliance with the law. And with that, pwede naming i-do away na yung hearing sa Justice Committee. And just like what happened, it was immediately transmitted to the Senate. Pero hindi po namin yan inupuan. Pasensya na po. Hindi po natin yan inupuan. Yan po'y pinag-aralan because of the intercession of political party. We were able to come up with a collegial decision, and that is to endorse the impeachment complaint. That endorsement was done by 215 plus 25 members of the 19th Congress of the Philippines.
Meron din pong mga speculation kung bakit bigla-bigla daw na nagpirmahan at nagmadali yung mga members of the House na pumirma. Can you just address those speculative stories?
Ano po ba yung mga speculation na yon?
Baka daw may binigay na incentive sa mga House. Alam niyo naman po dito sa atin, politika to eh.
Wala po. Wala po kaming tinanggap na kahit na anong consideration in exchange of our signature doon sa impeachment complaint. You can ask the 215 members of the House, pero ako personally, wala pong consideration involved.
At syempre, because impeachment being a political process, meron din pong spekulasyon kung bakit yun namang Senado ngayon ang mukhang umuupo dun sa impeachment. Ang sabi nila, iniintay daw na matapos yung eleksyon at mapalitan yung member ng Senado dahil yun na nga ang argument nila that the impeachment court is a quasi-judicial function of the Senate. Kaya kahit naman daw sino makaupo dun sa Senado, pwedeng ituloy yung impeachment trial kahit umpisahan by June 2, pwede siyang tumalon sa 20th Congress. Ano po yung masasabi niyo doon? Kasi nagsalita po si former Justice Ascuna as well. Sabi niya baka daw ma-invalidate yung impeachment complaint niyo pag tumalon from the 19th to 20th Congress. You're also a lawyer. Ano po yung masasabi ninyo doon, Congresswoman?
I maintain my position that just like any other court, kahit magkaroon ng changes sa personality ng mga impeachment court judges, the impeachment complaint will still stand, no? As a matter of fact, if we will be comparing it with an ordinary court, kung magre-retire ang isang judge, whoever will replace him need not repeat what has been done already by the one who retired. Ang gagawin lang nung replacement ng nag-retire na judge is to continue where the prior judge ended. Ganun din po ito. Wala pong problema kung mag-crossover from 19th Congress to 20th Congress ang impeachment complaint because the change of personality of the impeachment court judges will not defeat or will not destroy the impeachment complaint, so to speak. However, bagaman tayo po'y sumasang-ayon kay SPGs on that point, it is really the stand of the prosecution. We should proceed to convening the impeachment court right away. That is in compliance with the Philippine Constitution. Nevertheless, kung talagang itong stand ng Senado, we maintain the position na it will not affect the jurisdiction of the impeachment court regardless of the change in the personality of the impeachment court judges.
O sige, real politic lang, Congresswoman. Kasi marami na naglista niyang mga member ng Senado ngayon kung sino ang posibleng bumoto for or against. Kasi yun din ang sinasabi ng iba, mas mabuti yata maghintay na tayo after the election kung kailan mas maraming more likely na magvo-vote for the ouster by impeachment or conviction and impeachment, ouster by impeachment. Sa tingin nyo, sa composition ngayon ng Senado, malaki kayang pag-asa na ma-junk yung impeachment?
I do not want to preempt the evaluation or stand, would-be stand or decision of the impeachment court judges, no? Kasi the impeachment trial is yet to begin. Dito pa lang natin makikita kung anong mga evidence ang ilalatag ng prosecution. And on the other hand, yung mga defense evidence na ilalatag naman ng kabilang party. It is very hard to speculate kung anong magiging stand ng ating impeachment court judges considering na the impeachment trial has not yet initiated, no? So, let us respect kung anong magiging decision ng mga impeachment court judges once they are able to check, to evaluate the witnesses, the evidence of both parties, the prosecution and the defense.
Ito, hindi naman yung speculative story. Tinanong din namin yung mga senador, bakit ang tagal-tagal? Bakit hindi nasusunod yung 4th tweet sa Constitution? Sabi nila, may timeline silang binigay Hahanda daw nila pa yung bagong, yung mga bagong rules dahil bago nga tong impeachment concerning a vice president. Tapos magbibigay ng parang siguro yung sa umpisa sa korte, before filing in court, may parang preliminaries, magkukuha daw ng mga affidavit, counter affidavit from the vice president. Sa tingin niyo medyo matagal pa rin yun, February, March, April, May, June.
We call it pre-trial, no? Yung sinasabi ni SPGs na gagawin for the trial proper, no? It's actually part of the ordinary court proceedings, no? Pag sinabi po nating pre-trial, dyan po nagkakaroon ng listing of evidence, both the prosecution and the defense, listing of witnesses, both the prosecution and the defense, the stipulation of facts, the admission of both parties, and the issues defined for the purpose of the impeachment trial, no? I appreciate really the significance of pre-trial kasi with my recollection sa mga nangyayaring court proceedings, para itong nagiging master plan ba ng pagdadaanan ng entire court proceedings, no? As much as possible, we do not debate kung anong nandoon na sa pre-trial order, no? Kaya one issue is, paano daw kung hindi napalista yung ebidensya doon sa pre-trial brief? The question will be, bawal na bang ipresenta ito during the trial proper? The answer is, as a general rule, bawal. But there is an exception to the rule. Pwede, provided na newly discovered evidence ito. Ibig sabihin, na-discover lang only after the pre-trial proceedings, no? So that is one important thing na kailangang malaman ng ating mga kababayan. And another thing, nabanggit din ni SP Cheese the use of judicial affidavit. Ito po ay ginagamit din sa lahat ng court proceeding, no? Bagaman, the drawback of a judicial affidavit is, hindi na po ma-witness ng publiko yung direct examination ng witnesses kasi judicial affidavit is being used in lieu of the direct examination. Nevertheless, kahit may judicial affidavit na, hindi naman po prohibited either the prosecution or the impeachment court judges to make an additional direct or to make clarificatory questions. After pong makonclude yung direct examination, papasok naman po yung opposing counsel to cross-examine the witness, check the veracity of his testimony, no? Kaya lang ang drawback nga po nito, hindi na ma-witness ng publiko, which is very important, the demeanor, the testimony during the direct examination because it was provided already in writing by way of a judicial affidavit. Nonetheless, kung ang question lang po, para makatipid ng oras, yes, judicial affidavit is significant. Pero ito pong impeachment trial na ito, one important purpose of this is to inform the public, no? So, I believe na kung ang purpose natin is to inform the public of what really happened, dapat siguro ay direct examination should be done by oral testimony instead of a judicial affidavit.
Sa paggawa ng rules na panibago at saka sa pre-trial, reasonable ba yung 3 months? 3 months yun eh. Until June ha, puwera pa yung umpisa mismo. Reasonable ba yung 3 months?
I cannot tell really, Ms. Ami, no? Sapagkat, first and foremost, this is my first time to experience an impeachment trial. And secondly, I wish to defer to the authority and wisdom of the impeachment court. Whether that 3 months is too long or too short for them to finish the rules until pre-trial, let us submit it to the wisdom and the authority of the impeachment court judges.
Kung dagdagan pa ng 2 months, hindi ba sobrang tagal na yun? Kasi yun ngayon ang inaano ng mga tao. Natatagalan na dun sa June 3, biglang napunta sa end of July. That's 2 months
I
additional.
understand kasi even last year may public clamor na, no? May public clamor na when the impeachment process will start since na-receive ng Office ng Secretary General yung 3 impeachment complaint, talagang clamor na. Tapos nung transmit natin yung 4th impeachment complaint, kumbaga parang nagkaroon ng hope ang publiko na eto na. And then when our SP Senate President made his pronouncement about the possible timeline, medyo nalungkot na naman, no? So let's wait and see. Basta at the end of the day, the prosecution team is ready and we are submitting to the wisdom and authority of the impeachment court. Pasensya na po kay SP Cheese if I am making this comment, but that is in as far as we are concerned only. But ultimately, we give the highest respect to the impeachment court.
Sige, the impeachment court is of course drawing up their own rules, ano? Pero being part of the prosecution, meron ba kayong gusto sanang makita dun sa mga rules na yon? In part, kung tatanungin kayo kung sakasakali lang naman ng Senado, ano po ang isasuggest nyo na sana kasama sa rules?
Well, ang importante lang naman doon is the compulsory process of the impeachment court na dapat they can compel the attendance of witnesses, they can compel the submission of documents. I think that is what matters para makagalaw ng ayos ang impeachment court.
How important is it for the Vice President to show up? Kasi hindi naman dun sa throughout the trial, para na lang yung swearing in, ano? Parang sa korte din, ano? Yung arraignment pala, yung pinaka-arraignment. And then afterwards, she doesn't have to show up, ano? Ano po yung, siyempre, mas gusto niya, pupunta siya doon. Kaya lang, would you like the Senate to compel her?
We honestly believe na importanteng mag-attend ang Vice President. Why? Kasi doon sa ating inquiry in aid of legislation, she did not make a sufficient participation. As a matter of fact, she did not present her evidence. So we look forward na this time around ay maglalatag ang ating Vice Presidente ng kanyang depensa, ng kanyang ebidensya against the 7 articles of impeachment which are incorporated in the impeachment complaint. Kami po ay interesadong malaman kung anong explanation at ano ang ebidensya ng ating Vice Presidente behind her plea, kung anong mang i-enter niyang plea, which I suppose not guilty.
Sa 7 articles of impeachment, kahit isa lang siyang makonvict, pwede na siyang ma-oust, hindi ba?
That is true, Ma'am Ami. And I have to admit, among the 7 articles, what we believe are really very solid are the first 3. Ano ba yung first 3 articles of impeachment natin? Number 1 is the threat to the life of the President, the First Lady, and the Speaker.
Kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke, nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila.
We consider this as betrayal of public trust, no? Because Filipinos would not want a vice president who poses a threat to the life of the highest official of the land. And kagaya ng sinasabi ng maraming prosecutors na kasama ko, habang nadidelay ang impeachment trial, may threat sa buhay ng ating presidente, the highest official of the land. Because of what she manifested during that online conference, no? That is one. The second article of impeachment is the misuse of confidential fund, both of the OVP and the DepEd. We have to understand whether it is big or small, confidential fund is part of the public fund. And we should always understand that public office is a public trust. It is our obligation to explain saan napunta ang pera ng taong bayan. And number 3, of course, is the payola na umikot sa Department of Education. This is an issue of bribery and corruption. And we will recall na during the inquiry in aid of legislation, tatlong officials ng DepEd ang umamin na nakatanggap sila ng payola from DepEd.
Meron po nagsasabi na you cannot be ousted by impeachment for a position na hindi naman impeachable. So, tinatanong nila kung bakit daw kasama yang sa DepEd.
It's not because she occupied as a position of department secretary. It's because while being a DepEd secretary, she is also the vice president, a position which is impeachable by way of an impeachment process, no? So, nagkataon na habang siya DepEd secretary, ay vice president din siya. And the only way to oust her is by way of impeachment. I believe that we have basis to include that allegation, that article in our complaint.
So, Congresswoman, sa tingin nyo, yung pinakamalakas of the 7 articles, yung sa grave threats, saka yung dito sa mga confidential funds. Yung sa grave threats, and in fact, nadagdagan ng inciting to sedition, iniimbestigahan na ngayon ng Department of Justice after submission by the National Bureau of Investigation. Isasubpina niyo po ba yon yung records ng NBI?
We have not discussed that among the prosecution team, pero I just wanted to point out na kung ano man po ginagawa ng NBI, it does not have anything to do with the impeachment process kasi ito po ay magkaibang nature. Ito pong impeachment process is administrative in nature. Yun naman po sa NBI, it is criminal in nature, no? So, they can be filed separately, they can be tried separately, but I have to discuss it first with our fellow prosecutors if they will be interested to subpoena also the investigation report of the NBI concerning the first article of impeachment.
How confident is the prosecution team of securing a conviction? Tinatanong ko to kasi sa DOJ ngayon, meron silang requirement na tinaas nila yung threshold for evidence before submission, for preliminary investigation, for filing in court. Sa tingin niyo po, with what you have now, with what you have gathered, malakas po ba, mataas po ba confidence?
To be very honest, Ma'am Ami, and with all due respect to the Vice President, we are confident that we will secure a conviction. Why? We have evidence. We have strong evidence. And with respect to the first article of impeachment, the video was seen by all Filipinos from across the world.
Kung nag-umpisa po yung trial, kahit anong date, sige, sabihin natin, ano yung reasonable time na nakikita nyo, given the evidence that you have gathered so far, given the testimonies, ano po yung nakikita nyong reasonable timeline for the duration of the trial?
I really cannot tell, Ma'am Ami, no? Kasi after the direct examination, may cross. After ng cross, pwedeng mag-redirect. After ng redirect, may recross. And all those are a part and separate from the clarificatory questions which will be raised by the impeachment court judges. We have to consider we have 7 articles of impeachment unless we decide along the way na yung 3 na lang ang aming i-presenta. Pero I am talking only about the prosecution's evidence. Magprepresenta din po ang defense. Pagdating po sa defense, may direct uli, examination. After the direct, may cross-examination. After the cross, may redirect. And after redirect, mayroong recross. So, I think this will really take time, no? It depends on the impeachment court judges. How long are they gonna allot? How many hours are they gonna allot for the purpose of the impeachment trial? And how many days in a week are they gonna allot for the purpose of the same?
Sa ngayon po, yung nakikita namin, 4 days a week daw, 4 days ng work week, tapos baka half a day lang daw. At kasi may legislation pa di ba? Marami din, pag-upo niya, nang-aasikasuhin niyo actually is the budget again, na controversial
Yes.
pa nga ngayon. So, sa tingin niyo, considering that kind of timeline, abutin kaya siya ng more than half a year siguro? Reasonably.
I don't know, Ma'am Ami. I really cannot tell, no? The ball is really in the hands of the Senate on how they are going to conduct this impeachment trial. Kami po, in as far as we are concerned, we will all be actively participating as public prosecutors, joined by the private prosecutors.
Have you started coordinating with, it has to be the anti-money laundering? They need to give the order? Or is it the court or kayo ba? It has to go through them first, di ba? Kasi they have to lift the bank secrecy law, di ba?
Yes, that's true. We have not discussed yet, but I believe that that will be part of that article of impeachment which pertains to ill-gotten wealth. To be specific, ito yung mga allegation ni former Senator Sonny Trillanes, allegations of bank accounts, and we will be relying on the impeachment court judges in as far as the production of these bank accounts are concerned by way of their compulsory processes, no? I understand that with the impeachment court, with its compulsory process, they can subpoena these bank accounts of wherever banks they are being maintained.
Because of this controversy, Congresswoman, na-revive na naman yung mga proposal for legislation to ease bank secrecy laws. Do you think
Yes.
magkakaroon to ng suporta sa Congress if ever? Kasi ang tagal-tagal na neto, ilang beses ko na nakita tong proposal na to, mukhang hindi sinusuportahan ng mga kongresista. Sa tingin nyo, there might be support for this because of what happened now, itong sa kaso ni Vice President.
I believe that that will be a subject matter of lengthy consideration and debate among all the members of the House. Kasi issues of graft and corruption, no? Issues of ill-gotten wealth, it is important that the impeachment court or the regular courts have access to the bank accounts because that is the only way that you will be able to verify kung talaga bang guilty of malversation, graft and corruption, itong mga public officials na ito. Certainly, ito po'y magiging importanteng subject matter ng debate in the lower house and even in the upper house.
Congressman, I think I can safely say na marami naman pong nag-agree sa mga member ng House na naiinip na mga tao kung kailan uumpisan tong impeachment trial. Ano po yung masasabi niyo sa mga kababayan natin na naiinip na tinuturo yung constitutional provision on 420, isa lang ang ibig sabihin ng kahit anong diksyonaryo ang tingnan natin. Ano po yung masasabi niyo?
Kami po sa prosecution team, we totally agree with you na this is something which must be acted upon with haste, no? Kasi constitutional duty natin to, both the prosecution team and the impeachment court. But at the end of the day, let us understand, isa lamang po ang impeachment court. And that is the 23 senators who will be taking their oath as impeachment court judges. Again, to conclude, bagaman ang appreciation po natin ay this must be done with haste and we submit ultimately to the wisdom and authority of the 23 senators.
Congresswoman, alam ko po na busy kayo at you are going to your constituents, hindi ba? Marami pong salamat for joining us on Truth on the Line. At sana po makapag-usap ulit tayo pag naumpisahan na yung impeachment trial. Thank you, Congresswoman
Anytime po.
Luistro.
Maraming salamat po. Ma'am Ami, I am really pleased to be your guest here in Truth on the Line. Good evening po sa lahat ng mga followers and viewers, most especially to my kababayan in Batangas 2nd District. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you for tuning in to Truth on the Line. I am Ami Pamintuan, delivering stories that matter and news with integrity. Only truth shall prevail. Until the next episode.